Hey guys, Mr. Zern here. Welcome back. Got another knowledge check in preparation for our next quiz. So, a couple questions. After I ask it, one of you pause the video, one of you kind of recite back the answer, and then I'm going to tell you and we'll see if you're right. So, first, we've got a local variable. Give me a pro and a con. Go ahead and pause the video here. All right, great. So if you said for pros, easy to track, it's only used inside the event handler, so it's kind of easy to track and debug. That's definitely a pro. At the same time, the con is it's only used inside that event handler. So suddenly you need or want to reference that variable somewhere else. That's going to be a no go there. So there's a pro and a con for you. All right, next we've got global variable again. So think about what's the pro and con there with that. And when you pause the video here and recite that answer back. All right, great. If you said pro, global variable can be used anywhere in the program. That's definitely a pro. At the same time, it can also be a con in the sense that you've got a lot of troubleshooting to do in debugging. If you've got a problem, it could be anywhere in that program. I've helped one or two of you where, we had a stray global variable doing something wonky and weird, and there's a lot of blocks to run through in order to find that error. All right, so take a look here. So give me an example of a global variable and a local variable inside this large event handler. All right, so we've got a guest button. So when the guest button is clicked, we've got a local variable and a global variable. So take a moment, pause the video here. I want you to track down one example of each. All right, so hey, that global variable shouldn't be too hard because in App Inventor, it even says global in front of its name. And so if you said global guesses, that is definitely a global variable. And if you said variable guess for a local variable, then you were correct. All right. So when designing a program from scratch, the recommended order in which to plan out your program would be. And so we talked about this earlier. We've been doing coding right now. We're just doing block-based coding, lots of abstraction. Eventually, we're going to move to text-based coding, and not too long. We've also got pseudocode, where it's not real code, but you're starting to think out the logic of it. And then, of course, we have natural language. So in what order should those things occur when sort of planning out a program from scratch? All right, if you said natural language, pseudocode, and coding, you are absolutely correct. All right, so which block of code is an example of an incremental or a decremental counter? So take a look there and pause the video and when you recite it out, and then I'll recite it back to you. All right, hey, there at the very bottom, we've got global guesses. So set global guesses to global guesses -1. That's an example of a decremental counter. All right, so a sequence of instructions that continually repeats until a condition is met is known as what? And so, what computer term concept is that? If you said loop, you are absolutely correct, right? We were using that with our random number generator. Technically, we were using a while loop for that, and we're going to be learning about for loops here very soon. If a person gets a movie ticket with their parents, which part of the conditional will execute? All right, so take a look at that and recite and read it back to me, and I'm going to tell you what the answer is in a few moments. All right, so if we look, it says if with adult equals false. And so if that statement isn't false, all right, so if a person gets a movie ticket with their parents, which part of this conditional will trigger? All right. And this is a tricky one here. And so this says with adult equals false. And so, but where were their parents? So that would be the opposite of that. And so where were their parents? That's actually true. And so if it's false, so if we weren't with their parents, this chain conditional inside the event handler would trigger. But because we're actually with their parents, it goes all the way down to the bottom. Else it says approved movies.text to any movie. So if you said that else statement, you are correct. All right, so there we go. There's our knowledge check. Hopefully, you took a look at the video there. It'll be a great review for our quiz coming up real soon. All right, I will talk to you guys later.